Hi, and welcome to Cinema Daily. Today we will be reviewing The Sitter. I'm Matt Burns.
Stephen Brault.
Okay. The Sitter was directed by David Gordon Green, written by Brian Gatewood, Alessandro Tanaka. The director has done such films as Pineapple Express, Eastbound Down, it's a TV show, and Your Highness. This is the first time for, I think, both the writers.
Yep.
First full feature film. It's about Jonah Hill, who gets put in charge of babysitting three, I guess, adopted kids.
One of them is adopted. Two of them are real kids.
Okay. One's adopted, two of them are real kids. And he has to get Coke for his girlfriend to bring to a party while he is babysitting some kids. So, what did you think of this film, Stephen?
I'm going to go ahead and say this is the worst movie I've seen in years. In theaters. I mean, I've seen some pretty crappy movies. We watched Mega Piranha last year.
Yeah.
Okay, this is probably worse than that. And this
Yeah.
is a full, big, box office movie.
Yeah.
I hated this movie. The whole time. There were a few very funny moments. But it was just a moment, right?
Yeah.
But I thought it was probably the worst plot I think I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was so bad. It was so bad. I couldn't, when I was sitting there watching the movie, I was in shock. Jonah Hill plays Jonah Hill, himself.
Yeah.
This is his last fat role.
Yeah.
Because they showed a preview for his movie coming out next year with Channing Tatum, and he's skinny.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is his last fat role. This is his last hurrah as being that character, and he failed miserably. What did you think?
I agree. The entire time I was watching this movie, I was thinking up different ways that I could possibly kill myself in the theater.
With like a straw. There's like a cup.
Yeah. I was just trying to choke myself on popcorn, or just get in a fight with a really big guy in the theater or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it was so bad. It was so bad. Okay, so first of all, it's a comedy. Throughout the whole movie, Jonah Hill tries to give a lesson to everybody he meets. Every person he meets, he has to lecture and give them a life lesson. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
So forced.
The best character in this movie was Rodrigo.
Yeah.
And he had the most one-dimensional character ever, but it was so much better than everybody else.
Yeah. And there's no resolution with him.
No.
Either.
No, there's nothing.
I'm going to go ahead and say something that just would ruin the movie.
Go
Because
for it.
I don't want you people to see it.
Don't see it.
Is that he just automatically starts being good? There wasn't really...
At the very end,
yeah. It's just all of a sudden he's
been awful the whole movie, blowing up bathrooms and stuff.
He's done some serious damage around the city.
Okay. And it's just no problem.
So it's I'm just going to sweep this up.
Another huge problem I have with this movie. You said Rodrigo has no resolution. There is no resolution.
There's no resolution.
He stole diamonds. He stole cars. He blew up bathrooms and got arrested, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, I mean, that's got to be years and years in prison, right?
Yeah.
His dad hates him,
Yeah.
okay? So he steals diamonds and his dad's car from his dad.
Yeah.
His dad's going to report him.
Probably.
Wouldn't he? He hates him anyway. So there is no resolution.
Yeah.
He should go to jail.
Mm-hmm. So when I went, we went at separate showtimes. When I went, it was mostly Mexicans in the theater. And I felt bad for them based on the Rodrigo character, even though he's not Mexican.
Very racist.
Yeah. But I also felt bad for gays, Jews,
yeah. They just
blacks. Yeah, they just everybody.
So stereotypical characters.
It's such lazy comedy for these writers.
It
really wasn't even funny. Hey, these people. It was just hey, these people are gay and dress in skimpy clothes. Laugh at them.
Yeah, it was. Well, okay, but I mean, this is both the writers. There's two writers, and this is their first movie, both of them, and they failed. I mean, together, I don't know who thought that all these cheap, awful jokes would be funny. There were so many, okay, so the main bad guy, his name is Carl.
Played by Sam Rockwell.
Yeah. And, of course, he plays that, kind of crazy, always, nice, and then all of a sudden he's going to kill you kind of guy. A very stereotypical villain in a comedy. But he doesn't, he has a club. He owns a club or something like that. And it's just a bunch
It's a
of big, muscly men.
fitness club or something.
Big, muscly gay men being gay. And,
Yeah.
they think it's hilarious. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm guessing they had a good time while writing this.
I guess so. We need 30 bodybuilders to pretend to be gay together.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I hated every bit of this movie. I found myself, once again, we're talking about Tower Heist, I found myself, when I was sitting there at the end of the movie, realizing I hadn't laughed
Yeah.
for a good 40 minutes
Mm-hmm.
when they're doing the car chase and it gets all serious and
Yeah.
and then everybody's happy, and I hated his, girlfriend.
Yeah. I was sitting there, I was like, this is such a stereotypically art film. I was just like, when's his love interest that's like beautiful, that didn't really notice him in like high school or college? He's gonna come out of nowhere and just be like, hey, I liked you, but I just never had the chance. And then, like 5 seconds later, it's just like,
It
oh
happened.
hey, oh
And
yeah,
she just shows
we
up
have
at a
the
party.
same things in common.
And we
Yeah.
both love these things. And,
Yeah.
and
Just
conveniently...
happened to be in a blind bar
at
full
the-
of ghetto.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the end of the movie, let it be known, he walks out of the house, right? And she, of course, just drives up.
Yeah.
And right there,
Yeah.
And he says, oh, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, well, what about your girlfriend? And he's like, oh, we broke up.
Yeah.
She,
Yeah.
And then she's just, okay.
Yeah. It's like, let's go.
What about you taking these little kids to get Coke and then taking them to a bar?
Yeah.
And, of course,
He's
the
a
little kids...
terrible man.
The little kids beat up a prized MMA fighter,
Yeah.
of course, at one point in the movie.
Yeah.
Because Jonah Hill couldn't beat him up,
Yeah.
obviously, so the kids did it
Yeah.
instead.
Mm-hmm.
I hated this movie. I can't even express it. Do not see this movie. I will say that. Don't see it.
Yeah, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And we watched several terrible films
Last year, we purposely watched bad films. Megaprana, Sharktopus.
Mm-hmm.
What other ones did we watch?
The Substitute,
The
1 and 2.
Substitute. Oh, Dine. What was that called? The
Drive-Thru.
Drive-Thru with the
Yeah.
clown.
Yeah, clown that kills people.
Oh my goodness!
And I would much rather watch any of those
Yeah,
movies
because those
again.
are like B-rated films. They're
Yeah,
bad.
they're-
They didn't get funded millions of
Yeah.
dollars to get put into production and have Jonah Hill in
There's
them.
so much more enjoyment to be had from Mega Piranha than The Sinner.
There really is. I will say that preview for his next movie, Channing Tatum. I will safely say I'm kind of excited for it though, because Channing Tatum plays a good comedy role,
Mm-hmm.
like he did in that one movie he did a comedy role,
Yeah.
which was so The Dilemma. Just like cut all of that I just did looking that up. But The Dilemma with Vince Vaughn, it was funny.
Mhm.
It was a really funny movie, and he plays a good comedic character. And I'm hoping that this movie will try to take Jonah Hill up out of the ashes of that crappy thing we just saw.
Out of his fat ashes.
Yeah, that's too bad because all of his other movies he's funny.
Yeah, he's been good, and yeah, pretty much all of them.
Yeah, and of course he just becomes like this manly man, you know,
Yeah.
just not afraid of anything.
Yeah, I would just go home and just cry after a night like that.
Yeah, well, you know what I would do is I wouldn't go get my girlfriend.
That's
Coke.
true. I would not go get my girlfriend.
That
Coke.
just is a bad start. It's a really bad start.
Yeah.
He has a fat neck.
Really?
Sorry, he does. We're looking at a picture of Channing Tatum, of course.
Okay. Well, we don't need to go into spoilers because we just didn't
spoiled
even
everything.
care. So, what would you give this movie?
On a scale of 0 to 5, I would be doing this movie a favor if I gave it a 1.
Yeah.
I think I would resort to a 0.5. I don't
Yeah.
think anybody should go see this movie. There's no good audience for this movie.
Once again, we're close. I'm going to give it a 0.2.
Wow! Oh man! 0.5 and 0.2.
Yeah. So, yeah, must see.
So a definite go. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
All right.
Sorry.
Next, tomorrow we'll be reviewing.
We're seeing Elite. We're seeing Elite
We'll
Squad.
be watching. Yeah, we're seeing Elite Squad, and we shall be reviewing that tomorrow. So
I'm
look forward
excited
to
for
that
that
review.
movie.
I think you might enjoy it.
Good.
So thank you all for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day.